Hello folks, I am back with the impressions video of the Icarus Precision ACE grip module. And before I start that, I would like to first thank 1776 or Bust because he was the one that was telling everybody about this company and how he was a big fan of their products, as well as he kind of made a prediction. The prediction was that Icarus Precision's grip modules would be really, really a good product, and that especially with the aluminum frames, and that's what makes them different from other grip modules that are out on the market today. Now, a lot of you know that when I do a lot of different configurations with the P320 line, you know that I do a lot of grips and slides and so forth. So this originally started out as a P320X compact. And what you see now in front of you, this is the Icarus Precision um, Ace Grip module. And it is made, and I'm going to turn over that card here. It states right here it is made of billet 7075 T6 aluminum construction, which increases durability, adding weight to balance the weapon and minimize recoil. And I believe that's what's going to happen with this particular firearm. My unfortunate situation right now is I was unable to get to a range to fire this because I got this in the mail late today. So I immediately put it in the configuration that you see here. And I'm just going to show clear just so people will know that this is a safe firearm. As you see, it is clear. And with this grip module, one of the things I first noticed is the texture, right? Even though this is aluminum, its texture gives you really good purchase on this grip here. The beaver tail is very nice too. It's not very long, it's not very sharp, but you can just get a very good high grip. Uh, Getting back to the texture, like I said, the texture is great on the sides here and great on the back strap here, and some texture here. So you get a really good purchase. Uh, a lot of people will argue whether about the smoothness of this area. I don't have a problem with this at all. It's smooth in the right spots. Another thing about the gripping of this firearm is when you look at underneath here gives you a really good high grip on that front strap right in here. So I don't know if you can see that very well, but how there's that really good indentation so that middle finger gets right up there once you get a good grip, and it enhances your grip. One of the other things is if you notice there's that you see on a lot of the polymer firearms such as polymer 80s or whatnot, that the trigger guard has this little hump over here. Now, a lot of people will think that's a decorative thing, but it's not actually. Like you saw with my finger getting up underneath and high up and tight, your support hand can come right underneath. Now, if you notice right here on my support hand on my front finger, it's right up here. It gets you a good grip up underneath. So that's what I like about this. You get to have this little grip indentation up in here between this area of my finger right here, from the middle knuckle to right here. So that's where you get a decent grip with this grip module. One of the other things to secure that grip in that area is, I don't know if you can see this really good, but there are what they call, I guess, serrations or whatnot right in this particular area. And I'm going to see if I can get my camera to focus properly, if I can do that. But right in this area right here. Sorry for the camera work. It's just one of those things. So right in between there, you'll see, I'm just going to hold it instead of trying to point. Well, there you go. That grip indentation right here, where that, what I'm trying to say is where you have serrations right here. Another thing that I like on here is you see where there's a cutout, these cutouts right here. Makes for a good design. I cannot actually tell you whether or not it does anything for the firearm itself, but I think it makes it its own uh, firearm when it comes to their little design here underneath. I think it makes it its own where a lot of fire, like I said, the polymer 80s and some other polymer grip modules. This is to make things look a little different from the other firearms. One of the other things is also toward the front. No, I'm not muzzling myself, so I don't want to hear any complaints about that. Again, there's some of that serrations right here in the front where you can get a decent grip for those people who like to use the left hand support finger or your right hand support forefinger, and where they can just grip the front of the trigger guard. Some people like that, some people don't. I prefer to shoot this way. One of the other things is, since I'm showing you my shooting style, how I hold a firearm, this thumb right here. A lot of people, well, especially on polymer firearms, they have some type of stipple job on the polymer firearms, so they can get a good grip on on like the thumb on the for a thumb rest. These little indentations right here, I noticed when I put my uh, started to use my grip. The first thing I did was, and I didn't know I was doing it, it was once I grabbed the firearm, my thumb immediately went into this slot right here. And that seems pretty interesting because it gives my thumb a good place to rest and also secure the firearm under recoil. The other thing with my trigger finger, you keep your finger outside the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Well, a lot of times when you rest that finger off the trigger, you have a good spot to put your trigger finger at, so you can keep your finger off the trigger as well. It just gives you a spot to put that in. It's not intentional. I think that's just something they wanted to do as a design. Um, and you have your pick rail at underneath your Picatinny rail. It's small for those small lasers and flashlights. I might look for one down the line. And if going further around, look at the back strap here. If I can get look at the back strap right over here, you get to see uh, this really nice texture inside here. Uh, Again, this is from the other view. And one of the other things is this color is called the bronze. Uh, I This is actually a Sig Pro Cut slide. I got this slide to match this because this is their Sig's bronze version. So it's a little bit off, but not that much that anybody will notice it. I would think this is a little more darker, steadier. It appears probably gold on the camera, but it's really a kind of like uh, what you call a bronze, like a darker bronze. This one has more like a kind of like a almost a FDE, but kind of their version of a bronze. And I really like the Pro Cut slide, and as well as it matches up with this. One of the other features that I can think of on here. When you get this in the mail, you're going to definitely going to you're going to get the frame the module itself, but you will not get a magazine release button. And like with SIGs and some other companies, they'll include the magazine release button. I had my X compact module, so I took that out and put that into this module here. It's a little bit of pain getting these out to put that in, but you just have to exercise some patience, and you'll be able to get that in there. I like the size because it is really a compact. The X compact, quote unquote, is a compact. But one thing about this, and this may be a complaint to from others, and it will not be a complaint to me. This is feels a little bit heavy. Unfortunately, I did not get a chance to shoot this firearm as of yet. I just wanted to get this video out real quick. But I'm pretty sure this is going to help with recoil. This is going to help with it being with a flatter shooting, especially with the short slide. So the weight of this is going to really uh, aid in that. Um, I wish I forget the weight on this. I'm going to have to check that because I'm going to do a follow up video. Let me see if it says anything. No, it doesn't mention the weight, but it is a bit weighty. Um, it's nothing that you would get upset with or anything like that because it seems like everything is going a little backwards now. It used to be the lighter frames, now they're going to heavier frames now, tungstens, etc. You name it. So it's a bit weighty, but it's a good weight. So I can feel like I can carry this. I'm used to carrying heavier firearms from back in the day, so it doesn't phase me one way or another. One of the good things about Icarus Precision when they put their logo, it's just the logo. Now you can't see it too good because of the takedown lever here, but if you look right here, you'll see the Icarus Precision logo. Now, a lot of companies will have a frame or whatnot, and they just plaster their name onto the frame or onto a slide. They didn't have to do all that. All they did was put their logo. That's it. If you don't know what frame it is, you got to go and ask somebody or do your research. Now, in comparison with this, I shot this frame. This is the 6 hour AXG frame. I like the frame a lot, and I'm still going to use this frame. One thing about this particular frame, I will say, this, and I said this in a previous video with also the Scorpion AXG. This gave me kind of like reminded me of the older 226s, the 229s, etc. And that's what this frame does. You see the undercut right here. You see the front checkering. So it kind of gave me a flashback of those firearms in the past. I can tell you now that between the two frames here, the Icarus Precision frame is definitely heavier than this frame. Uh, I did get a lot of shooting time because I have both the Scorpion ASG and I had this in a different frame configuration. Uh, I shot very well with this frame configuration. I don't have any problems, but I think where the advantage is are the advantage, like I mentioned, with the trigger guard, where you can get a different type of purchase. The other advantage is having your spot where your thumb could rest. Um, this is pretty much basic and plain Jane. This is a little bit more dressed up, or what you can use as a customized firearm, so to speak. And I believe everything with this frame, as well as this frame, is done with a purpose. But more so with this one, this frame is done with a lot of thinking and a lot of ingenuity to make this particular frame, and especially to bring this out into the P320 line, which seemed in the very beginning when it started out as a dull uh, type of firearm, was no different from any other striker fire. But one thing good about SIG is the modularity, and you have companies like Icarus Precision that will expand on what the modules, the FCUs that SIG has done. What I would like for you to do is if you go on 1776 or Bus's videos, he did a interview with one of the personnel that worked with Icarus Precision, and it was really interesting what that guy had to say and the questions that 1776 or Bus asked the gentleman from Icarus Precision, and it was really interesting on the and how they approach SIG on using this particular frame. Actually, I believe Icarus Precision had the aluminum frame out before SIG came out with theirs. So really, check out that interview that 1776 did. So other than that, I like what I see here. I hope you do too. It's one of my other creations, and I have to say it's one of my favorite ones that I've created out of the P3 320 lines. And I'm planning in the future to probably buy another Icarus Precision grip module. So with that said, uh, happy shooting, stay safe, hashtag 2A, and look forward to my shooting review coming up with this probably in the next week or so. Thank you. Take care.